Okay, so I am going to show you my lavender. I don't have my microphone on, so hopefully we'll get a good sound out of this anyway. This is what lavender looks like when you pick it. Notice that the flowers are on the top, the leaves are on the bottom, and you can use both of them for different things. The leaves tend to be a little bit better for eating, but you can actually eat the whole friggin' thing, and it has kind of a sweet taste. So let me show you what I do. I pick it toward the end of the summer, and some of them, can you see that, are a little bit dry. And if they're already dry, then it's real easy. They come off. They just see how they come off? Just like that, the dried leaves like that. And then I take them in a little pile and I put them in a jar, and I'll have an airtight lid to put on it. Now this is very little already, and the whole friggin' room smells like lavender. It is awesome. Let me see what that looks like there. Now if you have ones that are still purple like this and they haven't dried out yet, that's cool. Just take them, cut off the ends, put a string around them, hang them up to dry them, and then take the little tiny leaves of the flowers and put them in here. I plan on taking some of the beeswax from my husband's the bees, because he's a beekeeper, and I think I'm going to make some lavender beeswax candles, and I'll go ahead and make sure I get some videos on that as well if I get around to doing that. He's not going to harvest the honey until September, so we still have a little bit of time. So I want this to stay as fragrant as possible. So I'm going to make sure that it's, in an airtight container. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And then the rest of it, I'm going to take off the little leaves. Notice that the leaves look a lot like thyme, but if you're used to or have ever seen thyme, the spice, fresh, the leaves are a lot harder and these are a lot softer. So I'm just going to pick those off. Okay, like that, and then I'm going to make a pile of them, and once I'm done with the pile, I'm going to, hold on a second, I'm going to, you guessed it, like I do for a lot of my other stuff, fill up my ice cube tray, and I'll probably go at least halfway in each of them, however many I have, cover them with water, freeze them into ice cubes, then tomorrow take out the ice cubes and put them into a container labeled lavender, and then I can use those leaves for anything. Cooking wise is what I'll do with those. So you can save those too, but I've noticed that they aren't as fragrant. Well, they're still pretty fragrant. I mean, you can use those as well, and you can dry them out. But if you want to use them for food, yeah, you know what, maybe I might end up saving some of these dried as well to add to the flowers, because I don't have a lot of flowers this year. I only had a little bit that actually bloomed. And I'll use this for the beeswax candles, I think, as well. And then maybe half of it I'll freeze for food. And then I'll show you some recipes down the road on what I use them for. But you can basically add it to anything. It's got kind of a little bit of a sweet taste. So you can, I've seen people make lavender cheesecake, or I actually even saw a recipe the other day online for lavender Rice Krispies, where you just mix some of lavender into the marshmallow butter mixture. Of course, being a all natural or trying to be more of a whole natural, more of a plant-based diet kind of person, I wouldn't recommend, Rice Krispies for an everyday snack. However, once in a while, I think that would be kind of cool to make some purplish Rice Krispies and bring them to a party and be like, hey, who wants some lavender Rice Krispies? But that's just an idea. So there's my lavender, and you can see that I harvested a little bit differently than some of my other herbs, but really, really easy and so fragrant. So fragrant right now. I mean, even the leaves right now are smelling up the whole room. So highly recommended and very, very easy to grow. So one of the things I forgot real quick to mention when I was doing my lavender is something that I've decided to try this year that I have never done before. It's called a lavender tincture, I think is how you pronounce it. Tincture. And basically, it's kind of like when you're making your homemade vanilla extract. It's kind of the same kind of idea. You take some stalks of lavender, like I've done here, and I cover it with vodka. And I leave it for a couple of months, and then you're going to have basically the lavender will leach out into the vodka, and basically the vodka draws out the lavender, and it tastes like lavender, which has got kind of a sweet taste, and it's supposed to be good for a whole bunch of different types of ailments. Now you'll notice that my vodka does not cover my leaves, and that is not because I shouldn't, but because I don't have enough vodka. So I will have to go to the store. I just wanted to make sure it got started today, and I will make sure I go to the store by this weekend and get some more vodka and fill it up, and so it's covered. And then every once in a while I'll go in my cupboard, give it a little shake so it kind of mixes up, and I will perhaps make another video when I open it up in a couple of months and actually try some to see what it tastes like. Never done this before, so I'm pretty excited.